As a tech journo, I am in the very privileged position of getting to play with all the latest and greatest phones. The side effect of all this is that I want new and shiny all the time. It's a problem. But my friends at Belong are so confident in their secondhand Samsung and Apple phones, they sent me this. It's a refurbished iPhone 12. Anyway, Belong, who have sponsored this video, reckon if I can use this iPhone 12 for a week, perhaps I'll be convinced that I don't always need the latest and most expensive tech. We'll see about that. Speaking of, I haven't even opened this yet. Let's see what's in the box. First, before I get any deeper into the box, it should be noted that this packaging is 100% recyclable. Actually, the thing that made me want to work with Belong on this video is their commitment to sustainability, and they achieve that in a number of ways. 80% of a phone's emissions are created in the manufacturing process. So by providing easy access to perfectly usable phones, Belong are getting them back in people's hands and away from the trash. Plus, Belong have carbon neutral phone plans. Yeah, I think if you value sustainability, Belong are genuinely worth checking out. But back to the unboxing, you can see you've got the recyclable cardboard, little note from Belong, tells you all the good stuff you get. A SIM, every phone comes with an $80 SIM card, very useful. And here, it is the iPhone 12. Yeah, wow, it's in perfect condition as far as I can tell as well. You could tell me this is new, I would not be able to tell you otherwise. Also, I gotta say, even though it's a second-hand phone that I'm unboxing and the box is different, it's just as satisfying to unbox it from Belong as it is from Apple. I like how they've gone with like a slightly different vibe as well, like black instead of white. Like it's a different kind of box. Oh, actually, there's a little bit more in here. What do we got? A lightning cable. Classic. Now, Belong assure me before they ship out their secondhand phones, they do a multi-point check to ensure 100% functionality. And they also have 12-month warranty, so it's a bit safer than buying them from a dude on Facebook Marketplace. I guess we should check out if they've actually done their job, hey? Let's boot it up. It works. I thought I'd have to charge it, but no, it turns on. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to go do all the boring setup stuff. So I'll check back in tomorrow while I go and do all of this. But yeah, for the next week, goodbye iPhone 14 Pro Max. Hello, iPhone 12. This is my phone for the next week. Yay. Okay, so a lot has happened in the past 48 hours. I got a haircut, beautiful. I also got a finger cut, less beautiful. But with the phone, I've been using this exclusively that whole time, and I quickly forgot this was a second-hand 2-year-old device. iPhones haven't changed a lot in the past few years anyway, so this all feels pretty natural to me. It even still has 5G. And because this still gets the latest updates, it feels just like my iPhone 14. They do a lot of the same stuff. The biggest thing I worry about using older tech, especially one that has had a previous owner, is battery life. But Belong have told me they make sure all of their secondhand phones have at least 80% battery performance before they ship them. We can actually check that. iPhones have this cute little battery health page in their settings menu, so let's have a look. So you want to be looking at this maximum capacity line here. This one still says 100%, which is as good as new in my book. This is going to charge and stay charged as much as a brand new phone would, so yeah, I'm very happy with this. One of the big advancements phones tend to get year on year is battery life. So if you're an absolute power user who is on their phone all the time, perhaps the iPhone 12 isn't quite going to do it for you. But I think for my purposes, I'm going to be totally fine with this. Like, look, it's lasted me all day today and I've used it a fair bit. Can't complain with that. All right, day 4 with the iPhone 12, and I'm in the city, so I'm testing out the cameras. Anyone who's watched my videos before know I love talking about these mobile phone cameras. They are one of those things that tend to improve year on year. But I've been walking around the city today taking some snaps, and yeah, this camera is still really good. Stacked up against the latest iPhone 14, I don't see a huge difference in the photos that you can get out of this. The iPhone 14's sensor is a little bit larger, so it's a little bit better at catching light in low light scenarios, but they both share the same megapixel count, so you get about the same amount of detail in both. Honestly, I'm really happy with the photos that come out of this. Apple's post-processing works in this just as well as it would in the newer phones, so it still makes everything look like an iPhone photo. Honestly, for general phone photography, I think the iPhone 12 is a great pickup. One thing I've noticed over the past week or so is how similar the performance of this is to the 13 and 14. The iPhone 12 runs on Apple's A14 Bionic chip, which is actually the same chip found in this brand new iPad. This came out this year. That means we know that Apple are still supporting this hardware and probably will for a while. All right, let's have a look at a few use cases here. I think for most people, this phone would normally get used for web browsing, social media, and listening to podcasts, watching YouTube, stuff like that. It comes at no surprise that all of this stuff runs really well on this phone, and you can run all of it at the same time. If I jump into something a little bit more demanding like Lightroom, where I'm making live edits to a raw photo, it's pretty responsive as well. Like, this feels just as good as it does on the iPhone 14 Pro Max and the iPad, so I'm pretty happy with that. When it comes to exporting the image to JPEG, that's noticeably slower, but it's not so much that I'd actually worry about it. It's just a few seconds extra. Okay, if anything's going to trip up the A14 Bionic, I reckon it will be a freshly released game. So let's start with something easy, Dead Cells on Apple Arcade. Okay, after about 10 minutes of playing, I'm not feeling any heat on the phone. I reckon this is pretty perfectly optimized. Being an Apple Arcade title, I reckon this has the tick of approval from Apple for running really well on most of their devices. Okay, but what about a big open 3D world with multiplayer shenanigans going on? Let's jump into Apex Legends. Okay, so I'm about 10 minutes into the game so far. I've got it on medium settings and I'm already feeling the phone getting pretty hot. This big open game world is really pushing the A14 Bionic here. Okay, now it's getting really hot and you can see the frame rate tanking as soon as I get into firefights with large groups of people. Okay, I'm kind of gobsmacked I won that. Pretty great that you can win a game of Apex Legends on an iPhone 12, but oh geez, the back is very hot. Okay, maybe this isn't the phone for you if you're playing big competitive games like Apex Legends, but for normal phone games that are on Apple Arcade and stuff like that, this is perfectly fine. All right, it's day 7, it's been a whole week, and yeah, count me pleasantly surprised. Besides the slight downgrade on the battery, I really didn't feel like I was using 2-year-old tech, let alone secondhand tech. Personally, it doesn't stop me wanting the latest and greatest mobiles, but if you're trying to save some money or perhaps want less tech ending up in the trash, then I'm pretty confident in saying the phones that Belong have on offer will keep you happy for a long period of time. Aussies, go check out their website. Phones start at $389 and they're all expertly tested with 12 months warranty. Considering each phone comes with a free SIM card and $80 credit, there's some pretty great deals on there. For all my international friends, sorry, Belong won't ship to you, but just make sure when you buy a second-hand or refurbished phone that the seller has done as much due diligence as Belong does here in Australia. If you enjoyed this, I make plenty of videos about how you can save money on tech. Hit subscribe if you'd like to see more of those as they come out. And I'm just generally curious, how long has your current phone lasted for? Who here has the oldest phone that they still use? Let me know in the comments and let's see who has the oldest phone out of everyone who's watched this. See you down there.